So my very special guest today on the red couch is none other than the current president of my Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of Barbados, President Robin Ford. Let's talk about Robin and Rotary. You've been in Rotary since 91, was it? 1994. What is your vision and what is the legacy that you want to leave as a president and as a Rotarian?
Well, I first of all, my vision is that I think that everything that we do as Rotarians has to be club focused. It's not, the president is merely, as you rightly said, you pass through for a year. So what you do, you have to ensure that the club looks good, first of all, and you do worthwhile projects. So while I was attending the convention in Germany, in Hamburg in 2019, I thought to myself, something, we need to look at the same time we were having some problems in Barbados with children having been sent home because there's no water and so forth. So I thought to myself, what could you do that could improve that situation? So I thought of a project with the water tanks. So if the schools had water tanks when the water was off the area, it meant that the school could still function. So I went to the Ministry of Education. I said, look, here's the list of 21 schools. Give me the ones that you're having the most problems with. And they said,
with outages, yeah.
They said north of the island is the biggest problem. So I chose the 6 schools in the north.
So it'd be like Alexandra, Darrell Jordan, St. Peter,
Ali School, Cozen Park. We did St. George Secondary and Grantley Adams. Right. So those were the 6. So I went, did the assessment, got the costing and so forth, and then of course I had to get funding. So I figured out what it would cost, and then I have a very good team. I must mention Dr. Barbara Triloff-Dean. She worked along with her team and PDG David Edwards. They helped me formulate a plan that I could present to Rotary to get some funding. So the deal was, whatever funding I could raise locally from Charles McCandless, got some funding from the district, and then I linked up with a Rotary Club out of Tampa, Florida, District 6960, who had a guy called Chuck Howie. Now Chuck was a Rotarian for 56 years, never missed a day in Rotary. And he left funds in his will that were to be used for water and sanitation projects, which is one of the highlights of Rotary, which is one of the causes of Rotary, in the Caribbean and South America. Once it was being handled by a Rotary Club. So we linked up with them, and we got, when we put all the funds together, we raised $60,000 on our side, and we went to Rotary and they gave us $60,000. And we were able to lump that together to do the 6 schools in Barbados, in the north, and it's completed.
Fantastic.
And then, of course, if you will listen to mine, I'm extremely concerned about climate change.
As I am.
Extremely concerned about it.
Yes.
And the CO2 continually being released in the atmosphere. I mean, there's more. I look at COP26, I read all the papers I can see, and it's really heading in the wrong direction. So in light of that, we decided we will put the schoolhouse for special needs. We're going to put a solar PV on that. As a matter of fact, it's installed. It's just waiting to be commissioned.
Yeah.
It's only waiting to be commissioned right now. So that was one of my second projects. Also, I'm very interested too in childhood obesity. I feel that we need to continually educate our younger children about what they must eat, the exercising, the drinking of water, staying away from sugary drinks, all of those things. And that message has to be sent out there and forced out there into them, and so that they understand it and it becomes like second nature to them. So we have a program there, and we're waiting to have that released there. And the other thing is digital literacy and financial literacy. We have built a program around that. the past president, IPP Fiona, and her team built a program, and that is going to be delivered in November to the schools through Zoom.
You've had the most unusual of years, Fiona before you, and now you having it for the entire period of thing, and with really no real end in sight. So I really want to congratulate you and the board for the creativity and imagination that you brought in adapting, because you had to adapt in ways that the rest of us didn't have to. Your comment?
Right. It was challenging. You could have put your hand up and said, look, we're not going to have any cars mechanics.
And just finish that with that.
Because wait until next year. I personally couldn't have done that because that's not my nature. So I said we had to find another way out. We started initially, I knew we had to get a recorded book program, so I went along that line. We started initially with a website. We would have streamed it and asked persons to donate, contribute, and so forth. But that had its challenges as well, because you could produce this thing and then people may not. So along the line, I saw persons in Europe who were using the drive-in. So I said, well, look, why not? Let's see if we can get together with the drive-in. And we did that, and that was a massive success. I mean, that really saved us, because without the drive-in project, I wouldn't have been able to do the water tank project. So this year we're going to do that again. But it is very, very difficult with COVID and having a restriction. So that to me has been really one of the minuses of my presidency.
One of the challenges. One of the challenges. Well, you've surmounted them, I think, admirably, you and your team. Robin Ford, thank you very much, President of the Rotary Club of Barbados. It's been an absolute pleasure for me sharing this period here with you this morning.
Thank you, Vic, and it was a pleasure as always.